How well do you remember the 2000s? Question 1. Which TV show made "That's hot" a catchphrase? Answer B. The Simple Life. Fun fact, Paris Hilton turned "That's hot" into a cultural moment. Question 2. What animated show featured a sponge who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Answer C. SpongeBob SquarePants. Fun fact, SpongeBob premiered in 1999, but it ruled the 2000s. Question 3. Which artist released the hit song "Yeah" in 2004? Answer B. Usher. Fun fact, "Yeah" featuring Lil Jon and Ludacris was one of the decade's biggest hits. Question 4. Which pop star was famously known as the Princess of Pop in the early 2000s? Answer C. Britney Spears. Fun fact, Britney's iconic VMA performances were unforgettable. Hello Snake moment. Question 5. Which of these devices was the ultimate texting tool before smartphones? Answer A. Sidekick. Fun fact, everyone from celebs to high schoolers loved that satisfying screen flip. Which 2001 movie introduced the world to Hogwarts on the big screen? Answer C. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Fun fact, the movie made over $1 billion globally and kicked off a magical era. Which trend was super popular in the 2000s? Answer B. Low-rise jeans. Fun fact, stars like Britney and Christina Aguilera made them iconic, for better or worse. Bonus round. Finish the lyric. It's gonna be ang. Answer C. You. Fun fact, NSYNC's "It's Gonna Be Me" became a meme every April 30th. It's gonna be May. Which of these devices was the ultimate texting tool before smartphones? Answer A. Sidekick. Fun fact, everyone from celebs to high schoolers loved that satisfying screen flip. What animated show featured a sponge who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Answer C. SpongeBob SquarePants. Fun fact, SpongeBob premiered in 1999, but it ruled the 2000s. Final score. What's your 2000s vibe? 0-2. Right. You might have slept through Y2K. 3-5. Right. You rocked a flip phone and knew the lyrics to every Disney song. 6-7. Right. Your peak 2000s, from AIM to MySpace to boy bands. 8+ right. Certified 2000s legend. Avril called. She wants her tie back. Do you speak American slang? Question 1. If someone says, "That's cap." Answer B. That's a lie. Fun fact, no cap means "I'm serious." It became popular in hip-hop and TikTok culture. Question 2. If someone is acting salty, how are they feeling? Answer B. Bitter or annoyed. Fun fact, being salty has nothing to do with food. It means you're in your feelings over something small. Question 3. She ate and left no. Answer B. Crumbs. Fun fact, it's slang for someone who absolutely nailed something. Performance, outfit, anything. Question 4. Main character ow. Answer C. Energy. Fun fact, having main character energy means you're confident, bold, and living like you're the star of the show. Question 5. What did bling bling mean in the early 2000s? Answer B. Riches and jewelry. Fun fact, Lil Wayne and BG popularized it in 1999, and it became a cultural phenomenon. Do you speak American slang? If someone said "talk to the hand," they meant... Answer C. They're ignoring you. Fun fact, this was the ultimate sassy comeback of the early 2000s. Add an eye roll for full effect. Which of these is not real American slang? Answer C. Blorp. Fun fact, snatched, L stylish, Riz, L's charisma, Lizzie, L slang for hot dog, Blorp, L just sounds funny. What did bling bling mean in the early 2000s? Answer B. Riches and jewelry. Fun fact, Lil Wayne and BG popularized it in 1999, and it became a cultural phenomenon. Bonus round. Guess the generation. Which generation made YOLO popular? Answer C. Millennials. Fun fact, Drake dropped YOLO into pop culture with his 2011 hit, The Motto. It means you only live once. Final score, slang master or not. 0-3. Right. You're still loading, like AOL in 2002. 4-6. Right. You've got the vocab, just don't say YOLO at work. 7-8. Right. Certified slang fluencer. Go off, bestie. Can you guess the US state from these emojis? Question 1. Which state do these emojis describe? Answer C. California. Fun fact, the Golden Gate Bridge, Napa Valley wine, and tech buses. It's got to be Cali. Question 2. Answer A. New York. Fun fact, Statue of Liberty, pizza slices, and yellow cabs. Classic NYC energy. Question 3. Which state is this? Answer B. Montana. Fun fact, known for its rugged forests, wildlife, and mountains, it's Big Sky Country. Question 4. Answer C. Hawaii. Fun fact, home to volcanoes, tropical flowers, and world-famous surf. Aloha. Question 5. Answer D. Texas. Fun fact, Tex-Mex food, country music, and rodeo bulls. It's a Texas-sized vibe. Question 6. Answer B. Wisconsin. Fun fact, cheeseheads, dairy farms, and die-hard Packers fans. Welcome to Wisconsin. How well do you know famous American brands? Question 1. Which fast food chain uses the Golden Arches as its logo? Answer B. McDonald's. Fun fact, the Golden Arches were introduced in the 1960s and are now recognized worldwide. Question 2. Which company is famous for its blue delivery trucks? Answer D. USPS, United States Postal Service. Fun fact, USPS has been delivering mail since 1775, making it one of America's oldest institutions. Question 3. Which brand's slogan is "Just Do It"? Answer C. Nike. Fun fact, "Just Do It" was launched in 1988 and remains one of the most famous slogans ever. Question 4. Melts in your mouth, not in your hands, is a slogan for which candy? Answer A. M&M's. Fun fact, this slogan was first introduced in 1954 and helped M&M's become a snack time favorite. Question 5. Which coffee brand started in Seattle in 1971? Answer C. Starbucks. Fun fact, Starbucks is now the world's largest coffee house chain with over 30,000 locations worldwide. Which brand is famous for its American-made Levi's jeans? Answer C. Levi's. Fun fact, Levi's invented blue jeans in 1873 and helped define American fashion history. Guess the brand by emoji. Question 7. Which brand do these emojis represent? Answer B. Apple. Fun fact, Apple's logo is one of the most recognizable symbols worldwide, symbolizing innovation and design. Which brand's slogan is "Just Do It"? Answer C. Nike. Fun fact, "Just Do It" was launched in 1988 and remains one of the most famous slogans ever. Melts in your mouth, not in your hands, is a slogan for which candy? Answer A. M&M's. Fun fact, this slogan was first introduced in 1954 and helped M&M's become a snack time favorite. Which coffee brand started in Seattle in 1971? Answer C. Starbucks. Fun fact, Starbucks is now the world's largest coffee house chain with over 30,000 locations worldwide. How well do you know U.S. presidents? Question 1. Who was the first president of the United States? Answer B. George Washington. Fun fact, Washington is known as the father of his country and led the Revolutionary War. Question 2. Which president wrote the Declaration of Independence? Answer B. Thomas Jefferson. Fun fact, Jefferson was the third president and a key founding father. Question 3. Who was the first president to ride in a train? Answer A. Abraham Lincoln. Fun fact, Lincoln rode a train to deliver the Gettysburg Address. Question 4. Which president was the first to appear on television? Answer A. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Fun fact, FDR's 1939 broadcast was a landmark moment for TV history. Question 5. Which president was nicknamed the Rough Rider? Answer A. Theodore Roosevelt. Fun fact, he earned this nickname during the Spanish-American War cavalry charge.